Today marks the third day of Hanukkah, and we are hosting family for dinner tonight, so there is quite a lot to be done. I'm starting by putting the Chanukiot into the freezer. It's the easiest way to clean them. Just a few minutes in the cold and the wax snaps right off. Although today I learned the hard way that if you forget them there and they get too frozen, it's actually less efficient. It's a cold week here, so I'm starting with soup. I'm taking you along today through preparations and cooking and the small moments in between. I'm still not feeling 100%, and filming makes everything take 3 times longer. So if you noticed a few unexpected jumps between scenes, let's generously call them artistic transitions, simply because I couldn't manage it all at once. So we will see how it goes. Welcome and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Moran, sharing gentle moments of daily life here in Israel. I hope this video brings a bit of calm and inspiration to your day. So, Eyal just came back from the shop. He went pretty early just to grab a few things that we still need for today's food preparations, for today's candle lighting. So first he got me the celery sticks and leaves that I usually like to add 1 or 2 sticks to my soup. So I'm gonna go ahead, wash it quickly and add it to the bowl with water and apple cider vinegar. He also got a few bits for the fresh salad that I'm going to prepare later. So the radish. He also got me bread flour that I needed, some strawberries and blueberries, and the pomegranate that I usually like to add to my fresh salad, a few tomatoes, and this, I think you call it chicory in English. 1 more zucchini that I also need for today, and some butter. So yeah, I'm gonna go and put those in place and add the celery sticks to the bowl with water and apple cider vinegar. I'm editing this video now, and honestly, I don't quite believe I managed it, but yes, I actually started this full day of cooking and preparations with a short workout. And you know what? I'm so glad I did. I never regret making time to move my body, and after a few days of being unwell, I really needed it. It was short and simple, but it made such a difference. I'm really glad I chose to make space for it, especially on a busy day like this.
Precisei perder pra poder ganhar. Muito tempo bem calado pra que eu conseguisse falar coisas que alguém vai escutar.
I start with the soup, and first I pop this butternut squash into the oven. Once it softens, I will add it to the pot with all the other vegetables. I'm making the same vegetable soup I've shared here many times before, using whatever vegetables I have on hand. It's one of those soups that changes slightly every time, but always feels familiar. I usually finish it by blending everything in a Vitamix for a creamy texture and adding coconut cream at the end. I start by gently heating some leeks in tallow and then add the spices. I'm adding curry powder, a little bit of garam masala, and salt, just letting everything warm and open up. And now, as the aroma of the spices fills the kitchen, I add all the vegetables to the pot. And today it's broccoli, mushrooms, zucchini, and parsley root. I will add some cayenne pepper and fresh ginger, and it's going to be a spicy one. I let the vegetables steam for a while, releasing their natural liquids. And while the butternut squash cools down, I'm heading to my studio to open the next 3 days on my advent calendar that was kindly gifted to me by Molly from a homespun house. I'm not being very consistent about opening a few each day as I originally planned, but earlier this week I organized everything by number, so now it's easy to find each one. And after opening, I mark them, so this way it keeps the order they came in, and it's quite satisfying for a human of my kind. The butternut squash could probably use a few more minutes in the oven, but I managed to scoop it out and add it in anyway. And then I pour in homemade beef bone broth and some boiled water. This is the last jar of bone broth in the freezer, so I will need to make a new batch soon. I don't fully cover the vegetables with liquid. I can always add more later if needed. Before closing the lid, I add a full bag of parsley, fresh parsley, and a full bag of fresh cilantro, 2 bay leaves, and then I let everything comes up to heat and steam together. And after coming to a boil, the soup will cook for about an hour or so. Now when the soup cooks, I can start preparing today's sourdough bread and grate some zucchini for something else I'm preparing for tonight. And of course, I forgot all about the Chanukiot in the freezer, so I think they need a few more minutes here on the counter before I can clean them properly. We're lighting the candles with Eyal's family and with my father this evening, and my sister-in-law kindly offered that she and her daughter will be making the traditional potato latkes, or as we call them, levivot, for tonight. They're usually made with potatoes and white flour, so I want to try make something a little different. I'm making a version of levivot with ground beef and grated zucchini and some green onions. Something I've never made before, but my mother used to prepare for us when we were kids and also for our kids. I'm working mostly from the memory and imagination, and I think they could be a really nice lower carb addition to the meal. Let's see how they turn out. Eyal came back from work early today, so he just joined me and helped with the preparations. So now he's taken charge of the soup, blending it in the vitamins and adding the coconut cream. Unfortunately, I didn't film this part. As I mentioned earlier, I'm doing my best to keep it up today with the work and also capture footage for you. It's been challenging. And now I'm finally frying the beef levivot. They look like they could use a bit more grated zucchini, but they are turning out well. I'm using tallow to fry them. It gives them a nice crisp exterior. We don't use any vegetable oils in our kitchen, so I'm using my homemade tallow. The kitchen gets quite hot, so I had to change my sweater to a lighter shirt. My mother-in-law is already here, and it's almost time for everyone to arrive, but I still have a few things to finish, and I also want to take a quick shower and get dressed before everyone gets here. I've been meaning to make a sourdough cinnamon star for quite a while now, but I've never tried it before. I prepared the dough yesterday, and now I'm giving it a go for the first time. I combined a few recipes that I found online, along with some tips from AI. I'm not using regular sugar, but only allulose and monk fruit, so I'm a bit skeptical, but also very excited to see how it turns out. And the process of making it gives me all the joy. My heart melts together with the sugar and cinnamon and everything here. We light Hanukkah candles with the family every year. Last year, Modi, my brother-in-law, passed away on the first night and was buried on the third. He passed away on a very young age, suffering from ALS. Lighting here the third candle without him this year is simply heartbreaking. It's even hard for us to sing, but we try our best to keep the tradition alive. He would have enjoyed this gathering and food so much, just like he did every year. And I can almost hear him saying, "The table looks so beautiful, Moran."
אני בשוק. רגע, בוא נראה איך פותחים את זה.
His little grandson, now the sweetest 2.5-year-old, brings so much happiness to the moment.
רוצה שזה ירד? בוא נראה אם זה יכול לרדת.
At this point of the evening, I already know I'm running on adrenaline and my energy levels are quite suspicious. But it's the warmth of the family that keeps me going, the coziness of the kitchen and the gathering.
מה שאת אומרת, האלפלוס קוראים לו נורא נורא נוסעים. כן, תכף אני אוציא את זה, אני אניח את זה על רשת.
We had a lovely long evening and the food was simply delicious. My sister-in-law and my niece prepared 3 kinds of Jewish latkes, all incredibly good. The cinnamon stars just came out of the oven, filling the room with a warm, comforting aroma. For the first attempt, they turned out really well. I will definitely be making them again. And I'm sure they will be even better next time. As I suspected, the adrenaline eventually wore off and I spent the following days recovering in bed. I've had a headache that simply won't leave and very little strength, but my heart feels full and content. I'm so grateful for my family and for this robot vacuum, for helping to get everything back in order, being a human of my kind in true Moran style. I needed the house to be tidy. It's the only way I can truly let go and get some proper rest. It's been 2 quiet days of drinking endless tea and sleeping on and off. With the boys away at the Hanukkah scout camp, there is not much feeding required. It's just been Eyal and me quietly lighting the Chanukiot for the 4th and the 5th nights. It was only by the weekend that I started to feel like my normal self again. We hosted my aunt and her daughter for the 6th candle, and it felt so good to have a bit of energy back. On Saturday, I finally felt much better, so we decided to head out for a long walk while it was still light and sunny outside. After days of being stuck inside, I think I just needed some direct sunlight to convince my body that it was actually time to recover. They say the sun is the best medicine, and it definitely helped me get a good night's sleep. It's a gentle end to a very full week. With the boys back from the Hanukkah camp, the house is loud again, and I'm greeted by the usual mountains of laundry. It's funny how quickly a house returns to its busy rhythm, but I'm quite happy to have my sourdough baking routine again.
איזו הידרציה יפה.
וואו.
הוא גם היום,
הוא לבן,
יש בו קצת אינקורן. הוא מעורב.
הוא מרגיש לבן.
4 different flours. White, whole wheat, acorn, and rye. בון אפטיט, אורי.
ממש מהטובים.
Yo, איזה כיף. Today's loaf received the best compliment. Uri said it's one of the best so far. I suspect he simply missed the taste of home, but I'll take it regardless. Tonight the Hanukkah is fully lit for the final night, 8 candles glowing together. And after the third night, I stopped cleaning the Chanukiot and simply enjoyed the beautiful patterns the candle drips created on the surface. For me, this season is all about cherishing these small moments of coziness and making the most of the light while we have it. I hope your week has been just as warm and happy. As the year comes to an end, I wish you all a wonderful end to the year. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas if you celebrated it. I am so deeply grateful for you being here, spending time with me, and for the community we are building here together. Thank you guys so much for sharing these moments with me. See you soon in the new year.